I don't usually post things like this. I'm 35. I have a good life, a person I love, work that means something. By every measure I am fine. But it's 5 a.m. and I can't sleep, and I've been carrying this for 20 years, and I think it needs to go somewhere that isn't just inside me. So here it is. My father was a banker. That's the short version of why we moved so much. Oman first, then Saudi Arabia, then wherever the work went. The kind of childhood where you become an expert at being the new kid and an amateur at everything else. Keeping friends. Staying anywhere long enough to matter. Learning which version of yourself works in which country. When I was 16, we moved to a compound in Saudi. I didn't want to go. I was angry in the specific way teenagers are angry when they have no power, which is completely and at everything. Before I arrived, before I had unpacked a single box, I got a message. Yo dude, what's up? I heard you're moving into the compound. We should hang out. No punctuation. No capital letters. Just that. From a boy I'd never met named John. I stared at that message for a long time. I didn't know what to do with someone who was kind before they had any reason to be. John was 17. Dark hair. A tattoo on his left arm that he'd gotten too young and was already slightly embarrassed by. Easy in his body the way some people just are. The kind of handsome that doesn't know it's handsome because it's never had to perform. He laughed easily. He made rooms feel possible. He was the first person to make me feel like I might belong somewhere. I fell for him immediately. Completely. With the specific totality that is only possible when you are 16 and you don't yet know that love comes in different sizes. I didn't have words for it then. I'm not sure I had words for anything about myself then. I just knew that when he laughed I counted the seconds until he laughed again. That when he put his hand on my shoulder, casual, easy, the way he touched everyone, something in my chest went very still and very loud at the same time. I carried it around like something I'd found and didn't know how to return. A few months after I arrived, a new kid moved into the compound. Ivan. 6 foot something. The kind of body that made people stop talking mid-sentence. Objectively, devastatingly good looking. John's reaction surprised me. He got quiet around Ivan in a way he was never quiet. He made small comments, nothing cruel, just pointed. He found reasons to pull me away when Ivan was around. Once, when Ivan and I were talking and laughing about something, I looked up and John was watching us from across the yard with an expression I had never seen on his face before. I didn't understand it then. I was 16. I thought maybe he was just protective. Maybe he didn't like Ivan. Maybe it was just one of those inexplicable friendship things. I understand it now. At 35, with 20 years of distance, I understand exactly what that expression was. He was jealous. He was telling me something. In the only language available to him, in the only way he knew how, he was telling me something. I didn't hear it. That winter John invited me to sleep over. His room. Posters on the wall. A ceiling fan turning slow. The window open and the night air coming through warm and dry. That desert warmth I still smell sometimes in dreams and can't place for a second when I wake up. We talked for hours. About everything. About nothing. At some point we ran out of words. We lay on our backs in our sleeping bags on the floor and stared at the ceiling fan and didn't talk. The silence wasn't uncomfortable. It was the silence of two people who have said everything they know how to say and are just resting in each other's company. I was almost asleep. Then his foot moved. Slow. Not a stretch. Not an accident. His foot slid across the small distance between us and found my foot. The side of his foot against the side of mine. Still, my heart stopped. Then it started again too fast. His foot was warm. The contact was so small. The weight of it was enormous. I pressed back. The lightest pressure. The weight of a question I didn't have words for. He pressed back. The ceiling fan turned. Somewhere outside a car passed and faded and the night went quiet again. We lay there. His foot against my foot. My heart going so fast I was sure he could hear it. I wanted to say something. I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. I had never said it before and I didn't know yet that I was allowed to. I don't know how long it lasted. Long enough that I started to believe it meant something. Long enough that I started to think we were on the edge of something that would change everything. Then he shifted. Pulled his foot back. Cleared his throat. His voice was easy when he spoke. Casual. The way he spoke about everything. Hey man. Don't go getting all gay on me. He laughed. Short. Warm. Not cruel. He didn't mean it cruelly. He was 17 and scared, and that was the only door available to him, and he closed it the only way he knew how. Yeah, I said. One word. The door closing from my side too. He rolled over. Went to sleep almost immediately. The easy sleep of someone who wasn't carrying anything. His breathing slowed. I lay on my back and looked at the ceiling fan and felt the exact shape of where his foot had been. I didn't sleep. We stayed friends. Good friends. We never mentioned the feet. We built a friendship on top of the thing that had almost happened, and it was a real friendship. A good one. I moved again a year later. We stayed in touch the way you do. Sporadically. Warmly. A message every few months that said I'm still here. I still think about those days. I hope you're good. I grew up. I figured out the language for what I was. I built a life. I fell in love, real love, adult love, the complicated, sustained kind. I'm happy. I want to be clear about that. I am genuinely happy. But I kept thinking about John. Years passed. I heard through people we both knew that he was still in Saudi. Still single. Had never been with anyone as far as anyone knew. Still the same John, easy, warm, the kind of person who makes a place feel possible. He died single. In a country where he couldn't have been who he was even if he'd found the words. He carried it his whole life. The same thing I carried. The same language neither of us knew the other was speaking. We were both saying it. Neither of us knew how to hear it. In 2020, my best friend Sam called me. She didn't text. She called. Which is how I knew before she said anything. Car crash. Fast. He didn't suffer, that's what people say. I didn't cry when she told me. I held it together. I was fine. I said the things you say and I hung up and I was fine. Then I sat down and opened my phone and found his account, which was still there the way accounts stay there now when people leave. Frozen at the last thing he posted. Still receiving messages he'd never read. And I wrote to him. I told him he was the first person to make me feel welcome somewhere I didn't belong. I told him I missed those nights talking about nothing. I told him I was glad he found me before I even arrived. I didn't tell him about defeat. I didn't tell him about ire, about what I understood now that I couldn't understand then. I didn't tell him that I still thought about that night, that I still felt the exact shape of where his foot had been, that I had spent 20 years carrying a question he had also been carrying and neither of us ever said it out loud. I just told him I'd miss him. I told him to save me a shot and a beer on the other side. And then I cried. For the first time since Sam called. Not for the John who died, but for the 16-year-old in the sleeping bag who didn't have the words. For both of us. For the window that was open for years and neither of us knew it and now it was closed forever and I was 35 and he was gone and the question would never have an answer. I still D.